Hey everyone! It's time for us to head over to the mall and meet the Enclave, who have been sheltering, well, another target of the Keepers. We found ex-Keepers all over here, all over the place in the jungle, with their remnants having been probably picked off by the jungle itself. There's probably not very many of them left, but it sounds like they did manage to meet Mama Saga. And she's convinced that whatever we do is futile. We're going to try to prove her wrong. Oh, I hope, Tim, you're recording. Okay, yep. Alright, let's go ahead and do this again. Heads up, everyone, that this might be on the shorter side of the Spirit Engine 2 videos. Maybe like 20 to 30 minutes or so. And probably, well, let's just do this. I have a hunch, by the way, we're going to be fighting more of the spiders up ahead. So let's see if we... Yep. Okay, so this battle again. We'll do it on normal speed. And let's go. Okay, mental note 10. These ones do not actually have... These ones don't have... poison. But we are already killing the front one very quickly. Yes, let's get a trick up. Then we'll go back to using some AoE attacks. Yes, yeah, you're gonna need another sprite summon. Let's get another one of these going. Got one, got two, awesome, and we've poisoned the last one. But now these ones are the poison types. Let's get some of this going. Yes, you are completely out. Okay, we need to actually kill them, though, Tim. This is good and all. Alright, we have to kill the one in the back. You're gonna have to tank for us. Denver is way too high up there. And wow, I don't think you dodged any of those. We get another brace up. That's really awkward, Tim. You haven't killed the final one yet, so now you have to kind of tank the front one. Good. Go. Oh God, Mauritius, you're gonna die. We have to pause this because I'm totally going to mess this up. I need to play. I need to go this back on slow. So we need sprite summon up. That's right. Powder imps. Mauritius, we need more shields. Then we have to heal. Then we're probably going to end up bracing. We take the front. We have the back two to kill before we kill the front one. So this is going to get really awkward. Good job, Denver. Nope, that's a mistake, Tim. We have to heal instead, and we need another powder imps. Good. Pick one of these up. Heal again. Alright, good. Both of them are now looking good again. Let's try killing the very back one. See, we can hit them while they spring toward us, and that won't be so bad. Let's get another fortify up. We'll pummel whichever one leaps at us first. Interesting, it didn't poison us that time. So maybe I'm getting this a little wrong. You guys... You didn't unfortunately dodge up, but you're also not poisoned, so I guess I can't really complain. We'll use some AoE attacks. Sprite summon. And then, we need another powder imps. We need to get some more braces going. You're not dodging as much as I would like you to dodge, Charlotte. I really can't afford to take hits on Mauritius at the moment. Good, we got another one. But we absolutely have to kill this one. take this hit for us. Unfortunately, Mercius. Because that trickle damage it as well. Denver. No, I'm too slow. Oh god! I'll take another trick hit on that one to help us out. Denver, we need you to fortify. I'm sorry, a block for us. We have to kill that center one before we kill the front one. Yes. Okay, this is actually working out for us. Let's... Still can't kill it. Because we have to heal. With you as well, Denver. Charlotte can take the front and maybe tank a tiny bit. We will trick. Everything's poisoned. That could go to our favor. Okay, we need to kill them. They may die from the poison. Even if they don't, I think I can do this really, really quickly. Can I chew through that much damage? We have no choice. All right, it's go time. We have to kill this as quick as possible now that we lost one of the red spiders. Nothing else matters. We have to attack it. No more healing. Hopefully we won't lose anybody. I don't think we will. Oh, wow. This is going to get really close. Actually, we should have had... Okay, oh, thank God. Thank God for Life Leech. Woo! We also gained a level. Okay. So let's... I'm using Trick a whole lot more than I remember having to need it. This is really nice, though. It adds a lot of damage to his defense. Anyway, let's keep putting the upping things to rank 9 that I currently have points in. Charlotte... That'll be fine. Denver. Let's think here. I guess we'll take 42 points in armor. I think I'd rather take more me cover. Let's go back and heal. I'm sorry, save the game. Okay, and let's walk across and see if Mama Saga will... if what Mama Saga told us will work for us. We just walk off the cliff. There. I planted every seed we collected. I suppose all we can do now is wait and see. Marvelous. We can come back here in 20 years and see what's sprouted. What a bunch of fools we are. I bet the old witch has sat up in her tree having a good chuckle at our expense. There we go. Aren't they beautiful? Have a little faith, Mercius. Well, I'm not stepping out there. That bridge is built with the devil's own pagan magic, and it doesn't look all safe. You can go first, Charlotte. Careful now. We don't know how these people will react to outsiders, but they've lived alone out here for countless generations. We should approach them carefully. Please, go no further. You've put yourselves in great danger by coming here. For your own safety, I beg you, turn and go back the way you came. It is for us alone to face his wrath. We're looking for the young woman who sought refuge here. She needs our help. Where is she? We can no longer protect her. We thought we could, but we were wrong. In the end, it was too dangerous for her to remain alive. Good grief! She came to you looking for help! What have you done? We haven't harmed her. We could never do such a thing. Our ancestors left the old world to escape such sins and took a vow never to repeat them here. But even our most sacred principles mean nothing to the vengeful nature of a man, awoken from the dream you share. Please forgive us. In the end, we weren't strong enough to do what had to be done. That is why, when the masked stranger crossed the mists further north, we let him and his lost knowledge pass. Oh no, the Keepers, they got here first! Damn it, woman, get out of our way! Oh no, we're too late. Nothing but ashes. My task is complete. People may do with me as you wish. I will give you no pleasure in my ending. Then at least tell us why. So many innocent people killed, for what end? What are you trying to accomplish? You do not know. When we first saw you with the Prince's Guard in Bluefeather Forest, we thought that you did his bidding. You've come so far and fought so hard, all in his service. Parliamentarian Baptiste? What are you talking about? The boy was trying to end this madness. End? No, his madness is only just beginning. What assembled here was the last of our order's strength, now laying broken. You may be our last chance to stop him if you can slay the remaining child. We keepers seek to maintain order in all things. The world we inhabit is a delicate construct, built upon stolen memory. But we are too many now, even for our benevolent guardians to control. Should that memory be returned, the truth will destroy all they have sought to build. The people lust for powers past, and this reign of simple peace and prosperity will be lost. The past is known to few humans, and even then only in parts. Our elders knew enough to hide it, and the founders of this enclave knew enough to fear it. Now the prince knows something of it too. He seeks to cast down this benevolent order, and will the force long since buried, he needs access to the vaults beneath Medea, to the World Eye. There are few left now whose blood runs pure enough to unlock it. We have destroyed them all, save for the one girl you took from us. Where is she? Isabel. We left her someplace safe. She isn't with the prince. You're sure? Listen to me. If you only believe one thing I say, let it be this. You cannot let him find her. Hide her if you can. Kill her if you must. You actually believe he would help you? Now, after all that you've done and all that you have put us through? You are sick. I don't know who you think we are, but we're not murderers. Really. We have but the blood of a few hundred shared on our hands. We have done evil knowingly in the service of order, but you three... You are unwitting agents in the deaths of tens of thousands, more if this does not end here. You saved the girl. You lead the prince to us, and you helped him deliver the briefcase whose contents will set Medea's two greatest nations truly at war for the first time. What did the briefcase have to do with Baptiste? Are you saying that the parliamentarian knew Portal Vale was going to be destroyed? I'm saying he destroyed it himself. And Kelstarin, Serath, and Pontera, with uncovered alchemy and the aid of the migratory star wanderers. This is only the beginning of what lost knowledge will do to our world. He sent the falsified evidence out of Yagara. We tried to follow it, but we lost track at the border. If you had not helped it to its destination, the prince might have had to reconsider his plans. This is preposterous. You're a liar and a murderer. We've no reason to trust a word you say. Believe what you will about the city's fate, but you must trust me about the girl. Everything depends on her now. I don't understand. If you do the bidding of the Vicari, why didn't you ask them for help if so much was at stake? They could have dealt with this. We serve order, not the Vicari. The Vicari have brought order, but they do not direct us. They know of us and allow us to continue unimpeded, because we serve the same master. We did not want them to see us struggle. We are afraid of them. If we are no longer useful, they will come and take our minds from us. Their power has waned much over the ages. The population has long been too large for them to directly control, so much of their governance now is deception and the slow mechanizations of our ordered society. But their gaze can still undo the very essence of a man. We have watched them remake a mind as easily as you or I might rub chalk from a board. We thought that we could handle the errant prince and his collaborators, as we have with others before. We were wrong, in part due to your persistence. It may already be too late for us, but you can still atone for your mistakes. Kill the boy and his followers, and bury what they know forevermore. My, do I feel my ears burning? I hope you've had pleasant things to say about me, Keeper. It isn't polite to speak ill of people behind their backs. You're too late now, child. Nothing left for you to do but wait for the righteous embrace of the hangman's noose. My brethren and I shall see you in hell. Oh dear, my mother once told me that if you didn't have anything good to say, you should say nothing at all. What a shame that she and my father were never given a chance to complete my upbringing. Never mind, you won't be bothering much longer, pitiful thing. You must be the last of your traitorous kind. I see you've had a talk with our friends. That's a shame, I rather liked them. It's true, isn't it? You used us! You murdered all those people, and we helped you do it! Never again! Charlotte, speak to me, are you alright? Thank you, Shara. I will no longer tolerate such disrespect. The rest of you will be wise to keep your hands well away from your weapons. You three are here at my mercy, alive only because I am grateful for the service you have performed. We understand, Parliamentarian. If I might ask, I would like to see a question answered. Knowledge is power, and it seems the power you seek to wield is formidable. How did you, of all people, come to possess information known only to the Vicari and this secretive sect? He has told you all he knows, hasn't he? It amuses me to see them so desperate that they would seek help outside their precious order. It is a fair question. The Vicari have gone to great lengths to hide their past deeds in pursuit of the subjugation of our species. It has required great sacrifice and much subterfuge to undo their revision of history as far as we have. I will indulge you with a bedtime story of sorts. A fairy tale before this world closes its eyes and awakens to a bright new dawn. Our tale begins in times recently past, with a man of science. Dr. Robert Miles, once a brilliant and distinguished archaeologist, died a humble pauper, his mind taken from him in his later years, stolen. Few academics today would be familiar with his work. He wrote a great many papers about the alder ruins that lay across Medea and their odd reaction to his presence. He wrote his theories that they represented a gateway to a world beneath the surface of our own, and an ancient power responsible for a cataclysm that scarred our planet once before, thousands of years ago. He must have been pressing a little too close to an uncomfortable truth, as our benevolent guardians, the Vicari, saw fit to re-educate him and set about destroying his work. I believe he spent the rest of his life as a desk clerk in a timber company. He deserved better. Unfortunately for the Vicari, the last few copies of his papers lay in the State Provisional Library in Slovakia, in my dear homeland of Amara, and were rendered unreachable by a rather inconvenient rebellion. It's something we Amarans seem to have in our blood, and oh, how we suffer for it. In the last few days of the war, as my parents lay slain by an assassin's cowardly blow, the blood of the People's Army soaked our dear earth, and Slovakia burned. My dear mentor, Mr. Folks, was searching for our salvation. He took the liberty of removing those papers from the library's vaults, amongst a great many others. It took him many years to extract and piece together the important information from them. Information that can free Amara, grant us power over our oppressors, and avenge the injustices wrought against us. Too late for the noble rebellion of my father, but not too late for his son and the nation, my people, now inflamed by 8 years of shame. This is absurd. The Amara Rebellion of 726 was no noble venture. It wasn't even supported by the majority of Amarans. Amaran freedom fighters terrorized and murdered any of their own people who disagreed with them. They spread chaos along the border and threatened to cripple trade across the east of the Union. The Directory's parliament had no choice but to take firm action to restore law and order. Carlin Batiste rode this tide of nationalist lunacy for his own personal gain. He was a monster who led his people to ruin in a war even he must have known he could never win. Amara is, and always will be, better off as a referee state than a monarchy. At least now its people have a voice and a vote. And the Parliament of Stars! The place is a theater! And we were all merely its audience. I had thought you were smart enough to realize that. Perhaps I had misjudged you. My father realized it, and he fought to free us from the tyranny of the Vicari. He was a great man who was murdered for his dreams of freedom. I intend to see that he did not die in vain, and bring our glorious war of independence to a conclusion. I realize now that my father could have won, if only he had known then what I do now. Known what lies buried in the alder ruins beneath the Great Plains. The Vicari are afraid of those ruins. They left something terrible sealed in there because they could neither control nor destroy it. They watch over the few remaining doors in fear because they know that the great power buried below can be wielded by the hands of man. If I were more superstitious, I might say that the ruins are alive. They're not, of course, but they do respond to certain people with a distinct harmony. Dr. Miles and others who share his lineage are among a privileged few whom those old stones remember. The Lotaeri had almost succeeded in breeding that potential out of our race. They have interfered with us for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. We are destined to be so much more than we are. Both the Lotaeris and Yagaran governments are their puppets, and they are the true architects of my nation's misery. Poor Dr. Miles is dead now, of course. He was one of the first of the Keepers slew when they realized what we knew. They've been frantically killing ever since. They really are a rather effective organization. No wonder the Lotaeri allowed them to continue their treacherous work. Our only desire is for peace and stability. Reliving the past will bring only great strife and conflict with our benevolent governors. Even we do not know what has gone before, only that it must remain hidden. Man must know his place. That is why we must all forget. In this case, Sally, you failed. Man is forged by conflict and advanced by the struggle against adversity, not idleness and stagnation beneath foreign overlords. Too long have we been unwitting grazers, content to chew the grass. It's time we took control of our own affairs. No, it will never be. You have no access to the world's eye. We have purged the entire bloodline. Your bluff is wasted, wretch. We know you're still searching. There was one left, a child. But you don't know where she is. He knows. We told his aide. Gaining access to Longreach was a little difficult even for a parliamentarian, but I should think the situation there has changed somewhat in the past few days. They have had much bigger things to worry about now. Like the Yagaran army. Medea's last great war is now in motion, a real conflict of blood and fire, unlike the fear and false memories our overlords have had us cowering from. The masses are so easily to manipulate. When you control their fears and emotions, their intelligence counts for nothing. The Lotaeri have ruled like this for as long as anyone can remember, convinced of our ignorance. They no longer have the power to stop their system of mistrust from tearing itself apart. And while they try in vain to reassert their authority, they'll never realize just how much we know until it's too late. I have had to sully my hands to get this far, but not entirely with the blood of innocence. I will admit that I cried as I watched Silrith and Pantera burn beneath the beautiful, clear autumn sky. But I felt little for Porto Vale or Castarin. The people of those cities were passive supporters of the tyranny we all suffer. Collaborators, content to take orders. Did they protest as my people were butchered in defense of their freedom? Did they express their outrage as our fields were burned and our homes looted? Nobody cried for Amara, and I shall shed no tears for them in return. It is time for my people's vengeance. The Reftin Yagara shall tear each other's throats out, and I shall ascend from the ruins to finish their vile puppeteers, the Lotaeri. I shall turn this world upside down, literally. And when... Prince Batiste, please. We all share your passion, but there isn't time for this. Why must you interrupt me, Julius? What use is a moment of triumph if I cannot savor it? It is my lifetime's work, and it is my lifetime's work, and our lifetime's work. It must be regal. I must make my father proud. I understand, my prince, but we need to hurry. We must get to Longreach before the Yagarans attack in force, and the child is either buried in the rubble or scattered with any remaining refugees. Yes, you're right, as always, Julius. I must apologize for my youthful overenthusiasm. I have so much to still learn. It is time for me to bid you farewell. When we meet again, it shall be in a better world. You too shall call me Prince. You two, kill the Keeper. Don't harm the members of this enclave. They are frightened and willingly ignorant, but they have given only this one act of assistance to our oppressors. We must set a merciful example. As for the others, hold them here until we have departed. After that, they are free to enjoy my New World Order, a reward for their service. They're getting away. We have to follow them. And what would we do when we caught them, Charlotte? We can't challenge them. We simply don't have the strength. I think we've run out of options. Then think harder. You're the smart one. You have to come up with something. We're the only ones left who can. Look, the boy's clearly got a few screws loose. He probably doesn't know what he's talking about. Look on the bright side. At least he finally shut up. Now there's someone who likes the sound of his own voice. Hey, you watch your mouth there, old man. You'll show the proper respect to the prince when you speak, or you'll suffer for it. Do you hear me? Yes, I hear you, and you're starting to push your luck. We're trying to hold a conversation here, so shut up and sit down. You arrogant swine! I think it's time somebody taught you a lesson. The kind your friend just had. What do you think, comrade? I think you should have listened to the priest. Apologies, comrade. I'm just not feeling myself today. Perhaps I woke up in the wrong bed. Jocks, is that you? I said I would get to the source, did I not? And so here I am, or rather, there I was. I would have tried to dispatch our errant young prince at an earlier opportunity had I known his final intentions, but I was trying to assess the full scale of this insurgency. His bodyguards are a formidable and diligent presence, but they cannot be beside him constantly, as circumventing them is a challenge Igara's premier agent would have relished. Alas, I fear I held my hand too long and the chance has passed. What is he going to do? The Keeper said that the founders of the Enclave shared some of what they knew. What do the Ricari have buried under those ruins? The key, we fear, to a great force that once shaped our world, raised the mountains and sank the seas. But its masters have not had cause to use it for thousands of years, and it has lain silent. The scars of its last great action can be found etched across cliff faces and carved into the gnarled innards of our most ancient trees. We would never have known their source if we had forgotten the folklore which our ancestors brought with them on their exodus from the mainland. We've never heard anything about such a cataclysm. Why is that? Memory is such a fragile thing, and your governors value it highly. Our ancestors made an agreement when they founded the Enclave so many unknown generations ago. They wanted to forget their thoughts, while their thoughts were still their own. But forgetting isn't always easy. Some pass down tales of an age when the sky was afire, and the stars fell to walk the land. Something terrible happened. The ground shattered and swallowed much on its surface. Then for a long time it was quiet. Many dark years passed, and before the storm in the sky subsided, the ground closed, and life could once again flourish on Medea. We lived on, unconcerned with the outside world and these fanciful tales, until we felt the great silence falling. Medea knows more than we do, and is bracing itself for some terrible upheaval. Old Lady Saga was right. We were destined to fail whether we fought or not. The young woman came before us, and we knew at once it was our duty to keep her from her pursuers. We did not realize until late this day that our fate was to help her die, rather than to help her live. A great pressure has been building in the world outside, a yearning that neither religion nor state could fulfill, a sense that something was missing. It has found form in the prince, and she sought refuge from it. That pressure has always been there. Even the mighty Ricari cannot completely obscure the past without destroying its children. Our ancestors believed they could find a better way out of here, with a simple life, a fresh start in willful ignorance, and for a time it worked. We had hoped we could escape our past and perhaps our responsibilities. We were wrong, and when they finally caught up with us, we could do nothing. Now we all face ruin because we fled when we should have fought. We're not finished yet. Is there anything you can do to help us get back west? If we can reach Isabel before they do, we can end this. Help? Yes, there might be, if the Traverse and its inhabitants are willing to assist us. Oh no, I don't like where this is going. The tireless Tickwits can bear you south to where you will need to be in order to prevent the prince's vision of the future from coming to pass. Excellent! We may still be able to avert this great disaster by slaying the remaining children before the prince and his cohorts can reach her. No, this is bad! We can't kill Isabel! There has to be another way to do this! I don't like the thought either, Charlotte, but we must be prepared to do it no matter how wrong it seems, should all else fail. The fate of all Medea may rest on this single moment's indecision. Go then with the blessing of the Traverse and its inhabitants. We will pray for your success. Chapter 8, The Worm Turns. Mauritius, are you alright? Really? My robes are soaked and they'll take a day to dry. Have you ever smelt a wet priest, Charlotte? It's not a pleasant odor. This is my second rapid descent from the great height as in as many weeks. I'm beginning to be rather good at it, if I may say so. I just have to wait a moment or two for my heart to restart and I'll be fine. I saw you fall, Mauritius. The rest of the flock brought us down after you. What happened? Damned if I know. Shortly after they changed course, one of those stupid little creatures suddenly rolled over and fell from the sky. Looked like it was having a seizure. Fortunately, the rest of the crew managed to pick up the slack before I hit the ground. I don't know why they were struggling so much. I'm really not that heavy. Look, they're running away now. Yes, that's right. Flee, you treacherous little monsters. You better not let me catch you. Something down here spooked them. I do hope they can find their way home all right. They carried us such a great distance. Does anyone know where we are? I think so. I've got a good view of the surrounding area as we descended. We're on the southwestern edge of the Kiplek Sink, a great forest just north of the Great Plains. We can't be more than a day's ride from Longreach. Great, so we have to walk the rest of the way. Those little lazy twiglets really left us in a lurch. What possessed them to drop us here? We'll never get to Longreach before Batiste. The river they set us down beside must drain into the Great Plains. We'll need to find a crossing point. How about there, across whatever that is? I recognize the architecture, and I can't say I'm happy to be seeing it again. This thing looks as though it's an older ruin. But why would such a large relic so close to the plains have gone unreported for so long? This great structure must have sat here, damming the flow of the river for thousands of years. I've got a bad feeling about this. The last time we visited all the ruins, we weren't made all that welcome. Something within this place is very wrong, some evil so palpable that I can almost feel it in the air. I say we should go upstream and look for another crossing. We can't afford to risk delay for a little more than a feeling, Mauritius. I can hear cannon fire from here. The battle for the Great Plains has begun, and its conclusion won't wait for us. Come on. Okay, everyone. I'm going to stop here. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.